All right, let's take a look at Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It. So yeah, this is the first Conjuring film without James Wan at the helm, without James Wan and Lee Whannell writing. Yeah. And it was directed by Michael Chavez, who directed The Curse of La Llorona, which wasn't really a very good movie. This is better than that, but you can definitely tell it's from the same guy who directed The Curse of La Llorona. La Llorona. So, set in 1981, the story tells of Ed and Lorraine Warren while performing an exorcism on a little boy named David, during which his older brother Arnie intervenes, which you're not supposed to do, and tells the demon, or whatever it is, to enter his body. It does, but for some reason, they don't catch it. Ed has a heart attack, or the demon David, possessed David, forces a heart attack on Ed, and I think that's what the distraction was. Then Ed wakes up in a hospital and says it's got Arnie. But then when they make Arnie, they find out that she tries to call Arnie. Arnie kills this guy, this really greasy, scuzzball looking guy. Greasy ass hair, he's nasty. To him, it appears as if this greasy scuzzbucket guy turned into a monster, so he kills him. And then you get that scene from the trailer where he's walking down the street, covered in blood. I want to say right now, a lot of this, what scenes are supposed to be scary, were in the trailer. The scene in the waterbed when the thing grabs him. Him walking down the street that's very disturbing looking with the blood on him. That was in the trailer. There's a lot, There was one scene in the trailer that had me rolling my eyes too. It's where Lorraine gets grabbed by something and almost pulled off a cliff, and I'm going, oh yeah, I believe that character based on someone who died like last year is gonna die in this movie. Because Lorraine Warren died like last year or year before, whatever it was, 2019, 2020, whatever. And so I don't think they're gonna kill off the character in movie. They're gonna try to stick to how long they lived. So right there in the trailer, I really didn't think Lorraine was gonna die. So yeah. So when reading the scripture or reading the Bible doesn't do anything, they realize that he's not possessed, but he was cursed. And so to find out more information, they go to this character played by John Noble, and as soon as he showed up, I'm like, he did it. He did it. Because you're not going to put John Noble in a movie and not make him the villain or an antagonist of some sort. Think of, he was the voice of Moloch. Or Mollis. He was the voice of Mollis on Legends of Tomorrow. He was a antagonist season 2 of Sleepy Hollow. He's a villain type character. And so as soon as I saw him, I'm like, okay, it's him. And it's his daughter, but he's connected and he's protecting her, whatever. This woman, Arnie keeps saying, this whole thing is about, they're trying to plead demonic possession or otherworldly stuff in court. Of course, they don't believe it, even though they have documented cases and they have, people. Can they bring in the Perrin family? Can they bring in that British family from the second one? The people who dealt with Annabelle. I mean, they even take this woman to their own thing, and she gets a little bit freaked out, but it doesn't help with their case or anything. And by the end of this, Arnie gets sentenced to prison, not life, 5 years, where he marries Debbie. There is no Debbie. Why do I miss her? No. Marries Debbie, which is his girlfriend, while in prison, which, can you do that? Can you get married when you're in prison? Never heard that before. And yeah, so that's happy ending there. And there's also, again though, Lorraine's in peril again, and Ed's trying to find her. I don't know if she gets cursed or something. And again, I'm like, even when Ed has a heart attack, I'm like, these people didn't die till later in their life. I'm not gonna, you're not gonna get any sort of suspense out of that. Out of these people might die. Other characters, sure. But we know for sure that Ed didn't die till he was in his 70s. And Lorraine didn't die till like 2 years ago. So you're not gonna get suspense out of that. Yes, you could fool us and in the movie universe have them die sooner, but what would that do? You just then done making movies. Also, after having an entire movie based around her, Annabelle comes home, Judy is barely in this film and says one line, "Daddy!" in the entire film. Sure, it's a different actress, but to be honest, I liked this actress better when she was in the first two films. Especially when you were showing that she has the same abilities as her mother. And I know it's not realistic because it's not what happened. She wasn't a part, maybe they're being realistic because she wasn't a part of their journeys after a while, but it's a movie universe. Make shit up. You're going to have to eventually. Have her do her own thing. You do a spinoff when she's in college. Credit to Foundflix, by the way. He came up with that. You could do a spinoff with that. But no, you don't. Because, I don't know, you have no sense of making money. You want to do a Crooked Man movie that had been in development hell for years and hasn't come out yet. There's a Nun sequel that for some reason happened even though it makes no sense to happen because everything is connected with the Nun. Because they show Frenchie. I guess you can have Frenchie in the film again and connect it that way, but they have to go back into Frenchie at some point. I don't know. But, yeah, this one, it was okay. There were certain scenes that were supposed to be scary. They were just okay. You have your standard jump scares where they're it's just a rat and stuff like that. Yeah. After Valak in the last film, having just a creepy librarian lady, not really scary. But I didn't hate this movie. It's not as good as the first two, of course, because you lost James Wan, you lost Lee Winnell. But it's better than La Llorona and probably some of the other ones. It certainly deserved to be rated R over Annabelle Comes Home. And actually, this is the first of the Conjuring films with the name Conjuring in it that people actually die. There's a body count. There's the greasy guy. There's another woman. There's actually death in this, where the first two were just scares and freaking people out. No one died in those. Here, there's actually a couple people that die. There's death. I think, whoever did this knew the stakes. So, hey, 2 Conjuring films without death. Not counting the Annabelle ones, because I think, what's her name? Alfred Woodard. In Annabelle, she dies. And then, I think a couple of the other spin-off ones, people die. Of course. All the nuns are dead in The Nun. So, yeah, so it's not, I'm just like, the ones with the name The Conjuring, this was the first one in which people actually died, where in The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, it was more scaring people, freaking people out, there's no real death, really. So that was a little interesting. And at this point, it seems like they're really... Yes, I know there's a lot of behind-the-scenes talk about how Ed and Lorraine Warren really were in real life. I don't want to talk about that. But it seems like the movies are just really romanticizing their relationship. And I swear to God, if I had heard one more, Lorraine! I was going to gouge my ears. I was going to... How many times does he have to say, Lorraine! 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 You know? There's only so many times you can hear that and not want to, But as it is, it's fine. I'll give The Conjuring 3 a 6 out of 10. It's fine. It's nothing spectacular. I didn't expect it to. Look, I don't think many of the movies that come out this year are going to be spectacular, except for maybe Spider-Man No Way Home. That looks pretty intriguing, and I hope they don't ruin it, But, no, it's not a bad film at all. I heard people, say bad things about it, but I didn't hate it. It's alright. So yeah, what are your thoughts on The Conjuring 3? The Devil Made Me Do It. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. Booah! Did that scare you? No? Just like this movie.